Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's very nice to be here in what is arguably the capital of the global lithium industry. I'd like to thank Bill and his team for an excellent conference. It's really very enjoyable so far. And while I'm at it, acknowledge the Whadjuk Noongar people as the traditional owners of the lands that we're meeting in today. Talking of living, we are living in a lithium century, a once-in-a-lifetime, very profound period of change. This is obviously a great opportunity for business, but there's also lots of work that needs to be done. And the message which I hope to convey to you today, which you'll take away, is that the challenges of rapid growth are recognized. We are starting to work on them to clear the business landscape so that you guys can deliver the much-needed minerals for this transition period. We are a trade association, and we have to stick to very strict antitrust, so I can't answer any questions on prices. Moving on, I'll let you read that in your own time. This presentation is going to have two parts. The first part is just to briefly outline the International Lithium Association. We're quite new, we're 18 months old, so it's possible that some of you haven't heard of us yet. Apparently some people hadn't heard that we were going to be in town having a lithium social last night, so we're trying to get the word out that we exist, and we have these lithium socials so that next time they can come. And then I'll tell you about 4 or 5 projects we are part of. These projects where we are structuring, helping the industry mature and gain some clarity. You'll see. Right. First of all, the origin and vision of the International Lithium Association. Now, it's always a bit difficult going before tea because most of you are probably feeling a little bit sleepy and you're looking forward to going have some biscuits and some caffeine. So we're just going to do a quick exercise to get the blood flowing again. Can everyone who's got an electric car, mild, hybrid, anything like that, sort of a modern car, not a conventional car, just raise one or both of their hands, please? Nice and tall. No, there's nothing to be ashamed of. We're all friends here. Okay, I counted 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 out of, let's say, 60, generously. My maths is a little bit rusty, but that's not a great percentage, and so clearly there's a lot of battery materials still needed to be dug up so the rest of us can buy EVs. So, to state the obvious, this is the lithium century. Lithium is key to the green energy transition, on which so much expectation is placed, so many political promises have been made, and so much of our future generations are depending on us to do. What's slightly peculiar about the lithium industry is that until 2021, there was no global industry association. So unlike almost every other commodity and specialist chemical in the world, lithium didn't have one. Now it does, and it's very exciting that we have this representative global voice for the lithium industry. We were launched in 2021 because the leading lithium producers recognized that in a period, well, in any period, an association can bring benefits to an industry. But when you're growing at double digits and all of the political focus and journalistic focus that that brings, it's incredibly important to have a representative global voice that can help you and share the flak, share the pain, and develop all the things that you need in an industry. As I say, rapid growth is an incredible business opportunity, and I wish many of you well. We've seen some really exciting projects today, which are going to benefit from that, I'm sure. But as anyone who's had a dog can tell you, rapid growth can be really quite destructive in places as well. This is my dog Pilot. He's 8 months old. He weighs 30 kilograms, and he destroys pretty much anything which he's left alone with. I'm not looking forward to going home. I might stay here forever. Seriously though, I digress. The associations, when it comes to the challenges of a rapidly growing and maturing industry, having an independent, not-for-profit association really can be a friend fighting in your corner. Much as we individuals, when we collectively pay our taxes to pay for a fire service or ambulances or school teachers, it's a cost-effective way of operating. And likewise, for businesses, associations bring these shared costs, mutual benefits, always in a strictly competitive way, of course. We never collude on prices. We are strictly antitrust, anti-competitive guidance forms everything we do. So that's very important to mention. But there are many benefits to sharing costs of mutual problems, which we will come to later. It's just cheaper to do things in a group than to do everything by yourself and have it duplicated by your neighbours and their neighbours. And politically speaking, of course, it's much easier, if you're operating alone, it's much easier to be bullied by the OEMs into adopting whatever they want you to do, bullied by politicians to do whatever they want you to do. Collectively, when you stand together, you're a much stronger organisation politically. So our vision's got 3 pillars. To represent the lithium industry, that's both to be the ambassador, talking to these politicians I mentioned, but also to be the complaints desk. So I always say to our members, when you have a problem, please come and tell us, because chances are other people have had the same problem, and collectively, together, we can solve it much faster. We promote sustainability and ESG. That's just, standard, absolutely essential. And our vision is to be a global authority on lithium knowledge. Obviously, we will never replace a price reporting agency. We will never replace a market forecaster, but what we can provide is solid baseline information about lithium, the kind of information which politicians feel that they understand. And I have to say, your Minister, Bill Johnson, is an absolute legend among politicians. I wish we had someone half as good as him in the UK or European Commission. Anyway, quick divergence there. This is our leadership team who really differentiate the association and drive our work forward. As you can see, we have a volunteer from each of our 7 founding core members, and also Mr. Anand Sheth, who I'm sure you all know. Anand, do you want to say hello to everyone? There he is. Anand, as you probably know, has had 20 years' experience in the WA lithium industry and around the world. And he and I co-founded Elia with the assistance of the founding core members. But yeah, I mean, these 8, they really drive forward the association. So that's who we are. In terms of what we do, one of the most important things we've been doing in the recent year is advocacy. So, although it seems a long way away physically, the European Commission's Departments of Environment and Growth are very close to here, to this room, intellectually, because of their idea that lithium is a 1A substance, that is the highest level of toxicity. We strongly disagree and we dispute their findings. We find that their science is threadbare, to say the least, and we've managed to convince enough people in Brussels to delay the imposition of this piece of legislation for a year. And we have a project ongoing from that, and we hope to defer it indefinitely because it's frankly bad regulation. We put out information internally. So our members get quarterly reports from Wood Mackenzie and Shanghai Metal Market, and we put out monthly newsletters as well. Slightly more interesting, certainly to create, is our website and our new magazine, which is basically aimed at telling the world what a wonderful little atom lithium is. 13.8 billion years old, some of them. I mean, some of the lithium atoms in this little dongle 13.8 billion years old, and they've just been waiting for us to dig them up and play with them. It's amazing stuff. We put on networking events because obviously networking is absolutely essential in this industry. Here's some photos that I just happen to have on me of the event we put on last night, which was great fun. Now, in terms of our members, we've deliberately gone for a very broad membership. So we have 3 categories. We've got core members, who are the big producers. At the moment, the cut-off is 15,000 tons LCE per year from your own material. We have the associate members, who are everyone else commercial. And we have the non-commercial members, which we split into affiliated partners and honorary fellows, groups and individuals, respectively. Of our core members, these 7 produced around 85% of global lithium last year, and they really are our backbone. These 47 wonderful companies are our associate members, and you can see here the breadth of our membership. I mean, our members really are our strength. The more members we have, the greater the voice we have, the more power we have politically to fight for our members' interests. And we can see you have everyone from many junior mining companies to some potential mining companies like our friends at Rio Tinto, which I know some of our core members find it hilarious that Rio Tinto is not yet a voting member of our association. But moving on. It's lovely to have you, Rio Tinto. Thank you for your support. Right, these 4 projects to support the global industry. So coordination is really important, especially for a specialty chemical like lithium. And one of the first projects we had when we started was to map the landscape. Who are the other battery material associations? Who are the other battery associations, recycling associations? Who are the other people who are the influencers of the lithium industry? And then over a concerted period of 6 months, we reached out to each and every one of them, built relationships, and the idea being that whenever these guys talk about lithium, by having these relationships, it's highly probable that we will be in the room, and therefore that the feelings and the voice of the lithium industry can be represented. And yes, and the reason for that being important is, of course, oh, sorry, I can't go back. My 13.8 billion year old lithium atoms are not working properly, but never mind. They're probably tired. Just to say why it's important to be in the room is because if you're not in the room, then how can you influence anything? If you're not at the table, how can you be part of the conversation? Talking of being at the table, in the room, having the conversation, we are a member of the International Standards Organization, Technical Committee 333, which I know Australia is signatory to as well. This is a 7 working groups, who are working out standardized procedures for analysis, for talking about lithium even, for measuring sustainability, and for some of the more fundamental language used in how people discuss this subject. Talking of standards, at the moment there is no one standard in the lithium industry. There are, I've listed 5 which could apply. There are many others. Obviously, of these 5, IRMA is, without a doubt, the most comprehensive and highest standard, highly transparent, highly comprehensive, highly in-depth and independently certified. Several of our leading producers have already signed up to it, but it's not the only one, and as an association, we don't endorse any particular one. The Global Battery Passport is an international initiative to create a digital twin of a battery, so that when you, the idea being that when you have the little barcode on the this sticker, this black sticker with the barcode, the QR code, will go on the back of your car, and then people walking down the street, they can get their phones out and scan it and go, oh, wow, this car's got a low sustainability ranking, I'm not going to buy it. Or this car's got a high sustainability ranking, I am going to buy it. That's the idea. Whether people will do that or not is open to discussion, but it's a nice idea. It's a lovely concept. It's a long way from the Henry Ford model of just creating a single model and buy it or not. Life cycle assessment rules. At the moment, there is no standard way of doing a life cycle assessment for lithium products. There are some really wonderful, excellent life cycle assessments out there, but they are not always strictly comparable with each other. It's a bit slightly apples and oranges. We have a subcommittee which is working on standardizing that. It is open, it does have a working group which is open to non-members. So if you're a member, join the committee. If you're a non-member, join the working group. Please, we'd love to hear from you. This is going to be something which affects all of us. Similarly, the risk management option analysis. This is a project which grew out of the European Commission's idea that lithium is toxic. So we have to do a risk management options analysis as part of our demonstration that it is not 1A, it could be several other categories. And we're looking at lithium carbonate, hydroxide chloride, and pure lithium, atomic lithium, as in metal. Again, we have a subcommittee which is managing it, and a working group which is open to non-members. So if you are a non-member and you would like to be involved, or even just be an observer, please contact me afterwards, or contact the association, and you'll be very welcome to join. Which I think... Yeah, and that brings us to the end. So just to recap, at the breakfast this morning, I don't know if anyone was here at the breakfast this morning. It was a very nice breakfast with Australia, UK, and USA acting in harmony. Lovely. But they did agree that no country can go it alone in this new technological environment. I'd add that no company can go it alone either. There are some shared problems which coming together to solve saves you time, saves you effort, saves you having to do it yourself. So, in a nutshell, ILIA is the representative global voice of the lithium industry. We've got members from 20 countries all over the world, 85% of global production last year. We're really strict on antitrust and competition law, as we have to be, and we convene, educate, and represent the lithium industry. We hope that through this work, we will have the strong foundations, we will clear the landscape of any risks for you, we will create strong foundations for your businesses to deliver the much needed raw materials in the future. Thank you very much for your time. It's been lovely being here. Thank you.